Welcome back to Let's Play Amnesia, The Dark Descent. I heard rocks moving. I see candles. That would be the perfect place to hide a tinderbox. I see a tinderbox, but I'm more concerned by the strange table with the clearly mystic symbolism going on in the anatomy charts. After the men had secured the prisoner, the ritual began. Bloop. Bloop. Okay, well, this is doing me nothing. On to the next room. Much like the first, but with a note. Oh, such notes. Just checking for tinderboxes.
15th of August, 1839. The blood wards are failing. The shadow beckons, and its cry disarms my actions. Hurry. No time to spare. You have to kill another. Alexander produces a knife. He wants me to cut the flesh. Do it. Save yourself. He is a murderer, Daniel. He is evil. A cold-blooded killer. Hurry.
Going to stare at him. He has a sack on his head. Well, I guess that's normal for executions and the like, and I don't think it's gonna let me. Oh goodness, and that's a knife made to inflict bad bleeding.
Alexander, you must let me be. I have to concentrate. Take the man, cut the lines, cut the flesh, watch the blood spill, let it come.
Oh good gracious, it's happening even with me over at the door, isn't it? Oh no, he's just glowing. Sir, why are you glowing? Sir, why are you ringing at me? Ink? Ink again. They know. Why are you glowing, sir? I'm going to have to cut that out of you.
Please, I didn't do anything. Paint the man, cut the lines. Paint the man, cut the lines.
But
Please, the man cries. Now you see.
But he was innocent, don't you understand?
I did well. One life for another. You hear me, guardian of the orb? I did all this for you. Now, once more, withdraw your shadow from my domain.
Oh, such arrogance. Such folly.
Alexander, there isn't much time. I can feel it. We must act swiftly. I will do whatever it takes.
That hallway was a lot. Ooh, hello. Petals. Oh, this was a word. Hello, you weren't there before, were you? You weren't either, were they? I don't know. And now the world is red. Oh yeah, my sanity's gone. That's why they're all hanging there, woobling at me. The world has gone all woobly. Let's run down the stairs. We certainly won't trip and fall and put an end to this madness. The main hall of the choir. Oh, that's right, we were heading to the choir. Something died inside of him that day. Watching that man slip away was more than his mind was willing to handle. For that little seed of doubt, was he innocent? Was he not? Had he just killed an innocent man to prolong his life by mere days? Perhaps. Perhaps not. We will find out.
What are my intentions, Daniel? Salvation. It used to be yours, but now you only seek misplaced revenge. How do you justify your violence? Is it for the greater good? Are you doing the world a service? It is you who caused all this pain and death. If you had accepted your fate and submitted to the orb when you first discovered it, none of this would have happened. It is curiosity in league with your selfishness that is killing us both.
A tinderbox. I'm just following the wall. Well, actually I'm gonna sweep back and forth. See if I find anything. See if I find anything interesting, that is. That is a bridge. And that is a not happy sound. Oh, there he is. Okay, I can work with that. I think. I lost him. Okay, he's two. Hello. Yeah, he's right behind me. I'm running. Over the bridge. Over the bridge, behind a pillar. To Grandma's house we don't go. Oh, hello there. Why are you here? Did those rocks just materialize out of the ether? Are those hiding rocks? Am I supposed to climb behind them and pretend that none of this is happening? It didn't work. This is all still happening. I don't remember why this area was so unpleasant. There'd be woobagoos about while I'm trying to search for stuff. I think Wire said I need to look, well, his note said I need to look for a mushroom here. Said I needed a large specimen of some sort of mushroom that grows here. And I'm assuming the woobagoos are not mushrooms, because that would just be too confusing. Okay, let's go this way then. There's a path I didn't follow, and it didn't involve a woobagoo.
Find her!
Find who? Are you hearing voices again? Oh, hello. Yeah, let's be careful. Can I climb this? Nope. There's no getting across there. A door. But where does it lead? To a flashback, apparently.
The wheel is good for keeping your victims still during the procedure. They can be bound around the circumference or simply stretched across, tying limbs to the spokes and rim. All tools are by this point useful, and you may administer the torture in any way you like. But the forte of the wheel is the gaps. When you have decided that the victim shall die, you can smash their limbs with a hammer, making them fold in between the frame.
But they'll die. Too quickly, I mean.
No, don't worry. The human body is much more resilient. They can survive for days until they finally succumb.
Poor twisted soul. Just what have you become? Oh, hello, wheel. Thought I saw tender rocks. Is that? Well, there's a glowing thing over there, but there's the hammer. The murderer's limbs were tied to the spokes of the wheel. They turned the wheel slowly, but with intent, so the rope secured around his legs stretched and cracked the bone. He no longer had the strength to scream. The two men looked at each other knowingly and took a hammer and struck the victim's chest in a final act of mercy. There's a lot more merciful ways to end a person than that, though. Couldn't you just aim for the head? Or have not gone through the whole torturous act? Wait, where'd the hammer go? Oh, there it is. Hiding. I'm gonna boop the wheel with it and see if it does anything. I feel like I remember it doing something. Ah, just spins. Okay. Well, I guess not. A piece of the orb. Its texture and color are constantly changing. I keep hearing a ringing noise also. That's not good for my sanity. He put a piece of each piece of the orb near one of the torture implements. We've gone that way. I believe he said it's because they leak madness and they probably have an effect on the process. He was behind me. And I want to go this way. Actually, there's a couple directions I want to go. This is... oh, hello. Why are you on my screen? That's a new one. That is a new one. Oh, my sanity. There we go. Big mushroom. Yes. Poison gland. That was one of the things he said I needed, wasn't it? Group of channels wire. Poisonous fungi. Agonized victim's blood. And a carank. Which is a water critter thing. That is a cow. Oh no. Oh no. Not a brazen bull. That's an old torture implement. It's a very cruel torture. Why am I stuck? The traitor did not know what to think of the brass bull as he was forced to enter it. Only when the heat of fire began to scorch his skin and cook his flesh did he realize it was to be his tomb. His screams of pain echoed inside the brass chamber and traveled through a complex instrument which was the bull's head. Outside, the men could hear the brazen bull bellow. Yep, a person gets stuffed in there, you lock it shut, and... pretty much that. But there was nobody in there, you saw it. I opened it and looked. I thought there was... oh, there it is. Orb piece. This one's green. Oh, I thought that was a ladder. I was about to be very confused as to why there was a ladder in here. And I think the Woobagoos change position every time I do one of those puzzles. Or they could just be, you know, patrolling. Or they could be petroleum. Have you ever thought of that? Walking men made of oil. I hear so many sounds and see so many things that I should not. Yep, he's after me. But there's the bridge. It's so dark and misty in here, their vision isn't very good. Well, there's the door. Thought maybe if I followed the pipe it would help. Carefully cutting the man open made him think. This is how Father must feel about his craft. Being an artisan, relying on one's skill to perform something so delicate, grants a certain form of pride. You have gone down a dark road, my friend. Come back. Is that all I came down here for? What do I do with a bucket of tar? Yeah, we're getting out of here. This place is gonna collapse. Like, the building inspector is on his way, and I don't want to have to answer all of these questions. Why there's dead bodies hanging from the ceiling. Then the health inspector will get involved, and it just won't be a fun time for anybody. So I'm gonna run. Did I come in here yet? I think so. Yes.
The shadow. It's close now.
Yes, it is, my friend.
Was there something else?
Oh, there were many other things.
You found Vile's recipe. That there might still be a chance.
Oh, yes.
Listen carefully. Alexander is working on opening a gate, a door to another world. It's where he wants to go. If you could put your anger aside, let him open the portal before you take your revenge. Let me pass the gate then. Please, find the ingredients and prepare the tonic Vile describes. And do so before you assemble the orb. The barrier keeping you from the inner sanctum will only be breached for a short time. Unless everything is taken care of before mending the orb, you won't be able to save me.
Oh yeah, that's what the bucket of tar is for, I remember. We make Alexander drink it. No, I'm kidding. Oh, I remember this. This is the well with a Karnak in it, I think. Oh, that's right. Meat. Yes, my hungry friend. You notice there's no shadow of me. I'm clearly a ghost. Yeah, the Karnak is, and I ain't gonna give it back. Why do I have no shadow? Like, you can see the hand crank. Why am I not there? It only ate the flesh. I recommend you not jumping in the well. I have accidentally fallen in before. And there's the Karnak mucus. What was the last thing I needed? Oh, blood. Blood from a victim. Oh dear. Why do we need that? Oh yeah, the vitier. Couldn't I just give him my blood? To atone for all these horrors. It had gone too far. The man was suffocating as he could no longer breathe properly between the lashes. Displeased, he started to look for the Damascus rose oil. Oh, well this looks... If I didn't know any better, I'd say this looks like a boss room, and that looks like a trap. I'm gonna walk right into the middle of it.
How much more, Baron? How much more am I supposed to withstand? Kill me already! Kill me!
This one. Prepare him.
Yep, time to give him the rose oil. I'm gonna go up these stairs. Stairs always lead to... I was about to say, you better let me up these stairs. There better be something up here. Oh dear. Paintings. Calvary. That. I don't know what to make of that. I do not know what to make of that. Why is that pipe here? String. Yes. I came up here to take your string. Fear me, Alexander, I have your string. He is clearly a cat. There are notes on torture. There are quite a few things to be said about torture. I had figured that the reaction I would get from the victims would be highly individual. Thankfully, this isn't the case. We humans all have a very similar approach to dealing with physical pain and terror of anticipation. I can't stress enough the importance of restraining the victims before proceeding. Even the most timid creatures can break out in fits of violence where their strength exceeds their expected prowess. If proper care has been put into breaking the victim, this shouldn't be a problem. It will also hinder the effect I'm after, however. If the right steps to take, however, therefore, are to restrain the victim while they're still dazed, proceeded by presenting the form of torture you are about to apply, and then continue with the actual act. The point of presentation is to infuse terror. The human mind is extremely efficient, and it will trigger itself into greater fear simply by imagining it. While applying pain, make sure to avoid massive damage, as it will prove more efficient if the process can be sustained. Also, apply the pain in doses, if possible, with breaks to let the body settle. If you are whipping or cutting the victim, strike once. Wait for the pain to subdue, then strike again. As long as the body suffers, it will continue to produce the vitiae and saturate the blood with its properties. Only with careful performance will the victim yield maximum effect. If the victim doesn't behave as expected, it is likely that all will be for naught. Before this happens, feed them in the amnesia drink and try again later. Yes, the Damascus rose oil, I believe, is the other name for it. I may be wrong, but yeah, it's what the main character drank and why he forgot everything. Used to make a torture victim forget that they had been tortured so you can re-torture them again later. Is it you, my love, I miss the most, or is it perhaps myself? I know what I have become. I am not blind. I'm a monster to them, a demonic sultan perched on a dark mountaintop. There's little I can do to redeem myself. The Black Eagle fears me, and after Napoleon's defeat, it's only a matter of time before they will demand my head on a platter. I must remove myself from this land. This time it must work. If I can't return home now, I shall perish. Oh, look.
What happened to her?
Now it's a normal old face. Wait, which way did I come from? That way. We're gonna go to the right this time, because that's not normally where I would go. Why does the pipe go that way? Ooh. The rapist hung upside down, his tears soiled with blood flooding from his belly. The saw between his legs had lodged itself in the hip and wouldn't move any further. The men stepped back and waited for the victim to drain. Orb piece. Yeah, they're very graphic images, by the way. Ah, that's right. Now I need... Oh. Yeah. Well, now I have all 3 ingredients and a saw. I'm gonna leave the saw where it is. But now I can make Via's tonic. I will need to find a lab, though. It won't let me just combine the items, because that would be too easy. But yeah, I should have said before, slightly graphic imagery on the walls of these rooms. Oh, I remember where this goes. The kidnapper sat on her knees with hands tied behind her back. She felt her hands being lifted and her body followed. Her shoulders gave way to the weight of her own body and cracked loudly. The suspended woman cried hysterically as the men contemplated their next step. Yep, basically they use the weight and then, you know, that to do horrible stretchy things. Oh, a piece of orb. Yeah, pretty much. Horrible stretching. Moving forward! Hello, Mr. Mouse. That mouse squeaked at me. It knows. It knows.
Let me go, you brute!
The cradle is ready.
Good.
You're a man! How can you partake in this?
Is he all right?
He is one of the wicked. Don't pay his lies any attention.
I'm not a bad man. It was an accident.
Oh, I remember.
Set a man on fire.
It wasn't my fault. fault! Why won't anyone listen?
That's horrible.
Of course. We are dealing with monsters here.
Oh, and just so you know, these are all real torture implements, or I mean, they are, you know, historically things that existed.
No, please! Do anything! Whatever you want! Anything! I'll do anything! I'm innocent!
This one, there's no picture to go with, though, for many censorship reasons. Basically, you get to sit on it, and you're left there, and the horrible things happen. The arsonist kept crying as he was slowly lowered on and off of the impaler. It didn't take much time to break him. They had meant for him to die, but the torture was working beyond their expectations. It wasn't the method, it was the arsonist. He was different from the others, and they could always make him forget again. Okay, moving on. I'm not gonna dwell on that. I tend to avoid dwelling on those any more than I need to. Oh, hello, body. But I don't remember. Were you there before? You have toes. That's a nice touch. He has toes. As I've said before, I'm somewhat empathic, so I prefer not to dwell on those any longer than I need to. I do find it slightly... No, I've got that. And I'm out of that again.
Something else.
I've got the ingredients.
Vaya was a brave man and dared to proceed where I did not. He unearthed a number of cavern temples and gathered a whole collection of orbs. But unlike every other finder since the fall of the Israel, he was able to unshackle the horror you and I connected with the orbs. He used them and was able to travel far and wide, beyond the world itself.
Ooh. What do I do with the ingredients? Speak, sir. I don't remember where the lab is. I need to combine these things. According to the note, the tonic must be made with care.
Me, powerful. Not the way I hoped for. I've done all that I can to escape this prison. But now, I use all my strength merely to stay alive.
And now what do I do, sir? Are you a brain in a jar? Your voice comes from here. This puzzles me.
My pupil, Johann Weyer, said he found a way to take me with him beyond the stars.
Ow.
But
Spikes.
I was too afraid to come along. Silly. And now, all I can do is regret it.
Do you have any more? I can light the candles. Yeah, I think this...
I've always hoped fire would return and give me a second chance. But so does Alexander. That's why he keeps me here, as a hostage, hoping fire will reveal himself.
This is a very interesting story, sir, but it does not further my cause. Do you have anything to tell me about the fact I have... no, don't mess with that. The fact that I have all the
You're a
ingredients?
good boy, Daniel, and I appreciate your company. But I believe you have more important things to take care of.
Yes, I do. Such as finding a way to purify these ingredients. I'm out of I'm out of oil again. Ow. Well, I was aiming for my eyes and thumb went right in the corner of my nose. Ow. Oh, come on, that is the lab. It is not up here. I don't think. I know what's that way. That's where we're not going. This was just that. Just that. Just the strange
to question me.
Excuse me? That was just the strange blood altar. I'm quite specifically looking for a laboratory. Or a laboratory. Or a lab of Tories. Not to be confused with a room full of birds. Okay, the hand crank I have extra. The tar I know what to do with later. I've only got 4 out of 6 or 8 orb pieces. So that tells me that I haven't been to all the places. Which I suppose will be where we go next time. For you see, we are running out of time. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wait for a loading screen here. And I'm gonna pause, and I will see you next time.